Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Remember to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell if you like the So in today's vlog, we're going to discuss about our cultural differences.
She don't like my new haircut. This is 10 for. She don't like my new haircut. 想了 means handsome in
That was
Chinese.
even wrong. It should be shuai, not xiang.
Swai, swai. Swai la. Sorry, guys. Yeah, it's getting colder. Today it was about 23 degrees, so North China is getting colder.
Something's wrong. I heard sound.
Yeah, it's broke. Something fall off. Oh, it's your tripod. Oh.
Oh my god, everything is falling off. This is totally a mess. Complete mess. You are just laughing at me because
No, I'm not that.
you see all the mess.
She's like a drunk driver with a stroller. I'm just goofing around with the camera.
Come on, let's stroll around the community.
Okay, I follow you.
Introducing the man behind the camera, my husband. Okay, as I mentioned a while ago, we're going to discuss about our cultural differences. So I don't know, in the beginning, what was it, honey? Did we have or do we have a lot of cultural differences?
Well, we have different opinions on how to say status. We can go down to the sea, the pond.
The pond, not the pond. So let's go back. Okay, what? Based from what I have observed, in the beginning we really had a lot of differences. Just like, especially me, I was a single mom, and it was not easy for us to make the adjustment.
It's not easy when you are so small.
Not easy to
Where
make.
to put the camera?
Just like that, it's fine.
You're so small.
It's okay. Honey.
That's okay.
Okay. We see, you always interrupt. I don't like it. You may run out of ideas.
Start over.
No, it's okay. I can make it and I can eat it. Okay. So we have had a lot of cultural differences or difference between the two of us, especially that I was a single mom. The first thing was the separation. Most of our adjustment is not because of the two of us. It's because of me having a daughter. I had difficulty adjusting myself when it comes to the separation between me and my daughter.
You've been together 4 years alone, so.
Yeah, so it was so hard. And before we met with Thomas, I had already a lot of inhibitions about the future, about finding a new guy in my life, because it was not just only me. It's not just only me, rather. I have with me my daughter, so I was very careful. That's why it took me a long time to find a partner in my life. So in the beginning, it was hard, and I know it was hard for Thomas as well, because in fairness, ever since we've been together, Thomas has been so understanding, even though we didn't even have a chance of being the two of us alone, because I have my daughter ever since from day one. So we didn't really have the chance to spend our time just the two of us. What can you say about that, honey?
But well, yeah. For me, it was Sheena. When we met up, when we met each other, Sheena was bonded to you. You were her whole life, and she had a hard time accepting me being in your life, being close to you, just even holding hand. She didn't want this kind of thing for a long time. She wanted to sleep with you. She wanted everything. Now we can't get her out of her own room.
It was hard because
it was difficult, and so there was a lot of adjustment for this.
Yeah. Because as I said, I was the only one who raised my daughter for so many years. I didn't want anybody to hurt her. Although Thomas is not hurting Sheena, he is not in favor for those who are hurting their kids physically, because according to him, that's not exactly the right discipline to apply to your kids. Through beating.
Yeah, and we fought a lot about that. We have a lot of arguments about that. I am totally against beating kids. I don't mind a smack in the butt, but I grew up with that. Where I come from in 1944, teachers in school was not allowed to beat kids anymore, and later a law came that nobody can beat their kids. However, you can, discipline your kid with a smack in the bottom or on the side of the head if they are troublemaker, but it's against every fiber in my body to do this. It's a little bit different with but and we have a lot of arguments with that. So I try to defend Sheena, even though she's been bad. If I disciplined her,
I grew up from a family where my father used the physical type of discipline to discipline us. So that was the thing I grew up, and I maybe adopt those kind of ways.
I think that's the thing, actually.
Yeah,
if you get beating a lot, if you grow up in violence, you will become violent. As an adult,
what is the right word? Don't take it wrong, guys. I don't beat my kids like crazy beating, like hurting her to the highest, to the maximum level. No, I don't do that, because of too much maybe pressure on my side. I was very tired. I was very tired, and I did everything by myself. So maybe that was also the reason why I got irritated right away. And after the irritation, after I made the wrong kind of discipline, I felt guilty about it, because for me, she didn't deserve to be disciplined that way. So I ended up giving her a lot of stuff, giving in to what she likes, to cover up the kind of guilt I had in my heart. And so that made her like too reprimanded, because maybe it confuses her mind, the kind of discipline I gave to her. And when Thomas arrived, a disaster came because
Well, maybe you should tell a little bit about your way you have disciplined Sheena and what the effect was on her, because she was a terrible brat, in my opinion.
yeah,
And the way you know, what I saw was that she misbehaved. You disciplined her with spanking, and after that you felt sorry, and you gave in to whatever she wanted. And Sheena was that kind of kid. If she didn't got her way, she'd throw herself on the ground screaming and having a fit, you know, totally anywhere. And she took things in supermarket, we chase her, she'd run around screaming until she got what she took. My opinion was that can I speak Finnish? My opinion was, what I saw was even in the end embarrassed to bring her to the supermarket. So bad was it. And that's where I think my way of disciplining is better, because I take no crap, you know. She find out I am the boss, and when she misbehaved that way, I brought her home. We were on our way to a supermarket, already there she had a fit. Just brought her home, and she wouldn't walk. I carried her all the way home, sat her down in her room and said, you sit in here and think about it. And after that incident, I let her stay there for maybe a couple of hours or 3 hours, and that's a long time for a 4-year-old kid to be alone. And then after that, I talked with her, and she never had that fit since.
okay, actually the cultural differences between the two of us is not that huge as compared to the kind of arguments and reactions that we have had because of Sheena. I know a lot of single moms out there who have the same problems as me, because it's not easy to raise a kid by your own, you know. And then with Sheena, I was protective, very protective. I don't want seeing anybody hurting her except me, because in my own opinion, I was the only one who raised her up. I did all the effort and all the pain. So if there is someone who is allowed to do something on her, that's me. So
That makes sense.
yeah, and so in the beginning, I tried to explain to Thomas why I acted that way, why I was like that, because, you know, imagine that I worked whole day and also until evening at 9 o'clock or sometimes 10 o'clock in the evening, and it's so tiring that I didn't even have time to talk anymore to my kid when I was at home, because I was so tired talking whole day and until evening. So when I was home, the tendency was I did everything on her behalf, because I was tired of always asking her to do this, to do that, or to train her, because my voice was already over, you know. I already finished. I used all my voice at work, because I'm a teacher, so I was, you know, exhausted a lot. So that's why I did it that way. But when I tried to explain to Thomas, he couldn't understand me, and that was actually most of the reason why we had arguments. It's not because of our cultural differences. And I know he also has the hard time adjusting, because as I said earlier, we didn't have the time, or even now we haven't had the time to spend our time together being a couple, because ever since from day one, Sheena's been there already. So
I disagree a bit. I disagree a bit. I think we have been a family from the beginning. We have been a couple. I think we had adult time. We do have adult time. You know, and we still have, you know. right now on school days,
Yeah.
Sheena goes to homework class after school, and
Oh, we have Kyra.
yeah, but yeah, you're right.
We have Kyra, so we haven't had time. We have our baby right now, so this is what I'm trying to say.
Well, yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, but you know,
But anyway, we were not, how to say, we're not young anymore. I don't need
Yeah.
that so much. Actually, I don't need that boyfriend girlfriend stuff.
so funny actually. In the beginning, we had that thing about the culture thing, the culture shock maybe, that I expect him to understand what I feel, even though I don't talk to him, even though I was quiet, and because I got sulk within me, what I mean, tampo in our language. I had tampo
Learn that word,
I had
guys,
tampo
if you're gonna marry a Filipino.
inside of me, and I expected him to understand and to think what's the reason of my tampo. But then he couldn't figure it out. That's also
That's a big
the
culture difference.
culture, one of the culture
Where I come
differences.
from, if a couple have, if you have something that's bother you, or you are angry at your significant other, you talk it out right away. We talk it out, and then we finish the problem. This one where she gets
In my
quiet.
case-
I'm talking right now.
Okay, sorry.
This way, where a Filipino woman just stay quiet for a whole day or maybe 2 days, and she's just pissed off on you, and you have no clue what you did at all. You don't know. In your mind, you did nothing wrong. Nothing. You have no clue. It's just suddenly there, like I don't know.
I thought it's just a common sense, because in our country, men can figure it out. Maybe
How?
they can figure it out
How?
when you go out together and you did something.
Leave something in the comment, guys. If you know how this works, if you can figure it out, please help me. Please make me understand, because my wife
And
will not.
also, the other reason why I remained quiet is that I don't wanna ignite the anger or the kind of bad feeling, the ill feeling that I had inside of me. So I don't wanna make it grow. So the only reason for me, the only way for me to cool it down is to just make myself quiet, and then relax a bit, cool myself down, and then maybe I won't get angry anymore later.
Well, I learned also that when she still gets it, not as bad as in the beginning, but she does get it, and when she get this tampo,
Tampo.
tampo,
A kind of sulk thing, I don't know.
when she get it, I just leave her alone. I don't talk to her, I don't look at her, I mind my own business. But I still don't understand it, so if you can leave something in the comment that can help me understand, please.
I don't mean to
And for
just
the future men out there, please
I don't
explain.
mean to just get angry without reasons at all, and I don't mean to behave or to act like the boss in the family. No, that's not it. Because sometimes Sheena said, "Oh, Mama is the boss." No, I don't mean to be like that. When I'm angry, leave me alone, because we Filipino women, when we're angry and our partner also ride on our anger, then disaster happens.
That's
So,
why I keep my
yeah.
mouth quiet. I leave alone.
yeah, that's the different thing, because my first husband, when I was angry, he was angry too, to the point that he ended up beating me up. That's one of the reasons why
Because he didn't understand either.
that's
Nobody
the
does.
reason why we ended up the marriage, because he's a type of guy who loves to beat up. So I couldn't stand with that kind of marriage, so I ended it up. And right now with Sheena, yes, baby.
You're waking her up.
Right now with
Don't leave it.
right now with us and Thomas for almost 6 years of being together. I think we already reached to the point that we already made our adjustment. We already know how to handle.
If we didn't make it now, we're never gonna make it. So I think
And-
the trial is over. The honeymoon is over, honey.
And also seems like because we have our baby right now, the patience and understanding of Thomas becomes bigger.
No, I'm not.
Seems like-
I'm not changed at all.
Because this baby is his first kid, his first baby. I don't know.
No change. I don't
But
believe it.
that's why to all women out there, especially to the single moms, yes.
Hey, nappy head. I don't like that.
Yeah, say hello.
Oh, my grandmother wore a hat like this.
Ah.
My grandmother, 80 years old.
Okay, to all the single moms out there, you need to be careful to find the partner that you're going to have in your life, because if especially when you have your kid with you, especially when your kid is a girl, because I had that kind of worries before, that what will happen to my kid, what will happen to my daughter if I'm gonna find the wrong man in my life. What if she will get exploited like that? So I had a lot of worries about it, to the point that it made me so hard to find a partner in my life after my first failed marriage. But this is just one thing for sure. Don't rush things, because once you are rushing things up and you really want to have a partner again in your life, because it's so hard to be alone by yourself. I know it's not easy to be alone, because the responsibility is great, the responsibility is huge. You need to work hard for it, because there is another life that you need to carry on. So that's why I had a lot of fears. So I was very careful about it, and be honest and be open to the man whom you think it's gonna be maybe your prospect to be your next partner. Be honest, tell everything, because once you are open and honest and you don't hide things, and that's the time you can tell whether that guy is sincere or not. Because before I met with Thomas in person, I shared everything to him, but before I did that, I say to it that I was already sure about my feelings. We're both sure about our feelings. So I told him everything about my daughter, that she's too reprimanded, that maybe he couldn't handle it. But then in spite of it, he still continued to come and meet me and be the part of the family. So that's it. I don't know how the European or the Western people accept the single moms, because seems like in Asia, I'm not sure about it. Seems like in Asia, single moms are being discriminated. I don't know. I really don't know, because they only, in my own opinion only, based on what I heard and observed and I saw, single moms, the parents of the man only accept the woman, the single mom, once she has, she's not an ordinary type of girl, or she is rich. But if she has nothing, then it's so hard for her to be the member in the family of, the new family of his partner, or the family of his partner. That's what I'd like. How do you consider single moms in your country? Because as I said, because it seems like in Asia, or especially in my country.
It's really easy for you. It's very simple. I can only compare. Can I?
Sit down.
I can only compare to what I know from China. A single mom in China looking for a Chinese husband will have a hard time. She will most likely never get a husband. Most likely never.
So hard.
In Scandinavia, and I'm talking in Denmark, Sweden, Norway for sure. We don't care. We don't mind. Bring in the kids. It's okay. The more the merrier. Kids are happiness. We don't care if we are not the biological father. Or it can also be the other way around. It can be a single dad in my country.
Not that. It's not like that in my country, and maybe it's in Asia too. Because once you're a single mom, the thought of the people around you, it seems like they look at you as if you're not allowed to fall in love with another man anymore.
You don't have that kind of leftover woman thing in your country, right? If you
There's still if you reach
because
30, then people would look at you
China,
as if you're an old
like
spinster.
25, nobody wants you. Nobody wants you. We don't have it that way. We don't see it that way, and I don't know. We just want love to blossom, and we don't care about if you have kids, if you don't have kids. It doesn't matter. If you fall in love with the mother, you know, and the kids they come into your heart anyway. I love Sheena like she was my own, no doubt.
That was
it's I don't know. I think it's a culture thing. In
that's
China,
part of the culture.
you marry very young in China. However, the woman has to be 2 years old. I think it's 21.
21,
And the guy can be what, 19?
19, or maybe like that, or 8. I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And there are still arranged marriage going on, especially in the countryside. And things like that, you know, it's very different. It's very different, and I can also see in China, you know, your parent, if you have a son, you have to give him a house, a car, whatever. You need to have that, or no Chinese woman will marry you.
Yeah.
So they need to give him an apartment and all these kind of things. It's very expensive, and so they don't want to see their son marry a woman that already been failed in a marriage and have a kid. You know, they want it, you know, clean, and
So
I don't get
That's why
Nothing to do
right
with love.
after my failed marriage, I told myself it's impossible for me to find a partner in Asia. It's gonna be impossible in China again. No, that's a big impossible for me, because I know that kind of thing. Because yeah, as I mentioned earlier, they will only accept you once they know that you are somebody, that you maybe have money or you're rich, then you're welcome. But if you're just nobody, then it's so hard for you to fit in.
Maybe, yeah.
That's
Maybe
so-
if you're
so
a
hard.
daughter of a high official,
Yeah.
you might be. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. In the Philippines, it's also like that. But I hope everybody also will understand that a lot of single moms don't really desire or intentionally to be like who we are, or to be a single mom. We don't intentionally desire to become one. It's just happened, and we didn't want it this way. And
I don't think it's for anybody. I don't think any woman go into a marriage, get a child, just on purpose to get divorced in their mind.
There
think
are women who did it intentionally because they just opened their legs and they know the consequence. There is no
Why get
stupidity.
married? Why do all these
Being
things?
ignorant and stupidity is not an excuse of responsibility. Excuse
It's a
responsibility of your actions.
It's a different thing.
Yeah. So, but you know, when you do that one, of course you cannot get the respect from others. But based on experience, as long as you know how to behave and compose yourself in front of the public, then they will respect you the way it is. They will still respect you. But when it comes to acceptance to the man's family, if ever you're gonna find another partner again, that's very hard. That's very hard. That's why I say to it that I need to find someone from Europe or a Caucasian, because I know they can accept single moms easy peasy, like Thomas. Oh,
Listen, my mother and father will accept whoever I bring home as my wife. As long as I'm happy, they will welcome her with open arms. And if she has 10 kids from another marriage, they will bring them in as their grandparents.
oh my
That's
God,
how it is.
you're gonna end up fighting if the woman doesn't have a job and she has 10 kids.
Why are you bringing a job into this? What has that to
Because
do with love?
it's not gonna be easy to raise those kids. Just like me, I don't get support.
That's a whole different thing.
That's
It has
another
nothing to
that's
do with
another thing
fight.
also we argue about, because in Asia, once the woman doesn't have a job, I have that stigma in my head. I need to earn some money, because if I'm worried that if I don't have money, he's not gonna respect me, he's gonna bully me. That's always the thing in our
And
head.
I have only one word for that.
Oh, honey,
Thank you.
can't-
I don't care. I'm getting so peed off to hear about this stupid nonsense. It
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
we
we have
treat
this
the
kind of
queen and the
argument.
guy who clean the garbage can and sweep the floors, whatever. We treat them the same where I come from. The same.
So that is also part of the cultural
Simply
differences.
not okay. This thinking, honey.
That's
You need
why
to get it out.
I can't let him understand, and I can't also convince him to understand. And we end up having this kind of a little arguments, because this is the thing that I was brought up, that I observe around, and
Can you see it's wrong?
It's stuck in my head.
Can you hear it's
that
wrong?
I need to prove to my partner that I can do something, because in my country, when you don't have a job, when the woman doesn't have a job, and then the man always have the job or the money, and then he would always, at the end when they fight, he always
Why?
make this kind of counting that, oh, I'm the only one who earns
I
money in the
never
family.
ever did that.
I
ever.
know you did it. I know you haven't, and I know you won't do it. But it's just a kind of thing in my head, and it's so hard that I need, and I know it's not healthy, it's not good, but there are a lot of this kind of things in my head that already imprinted on my mind, that this kind of stigma is already there, and it's difficult to just remove them and let it go. That's the problem. That's part of other cultural differences, yeah, aside from having the kids.
That's something that can really, that's something that pushes my button, when you have that kind of thinking, because I don't earn money, then you don't respect me as high. I respect you higher, let me finish. That's a really big thing. See, what's wrong all the time. Let me finish.
Honey,
yeah.
go ahead.
That can push my button so bad, because you have a hard job taking care of 2 kids at home. I know. I rather have it that way. If you have a job, and we need to hire a nanny, we need to hire all kinds of, we won't see our kids, they won't see their mother, at least to see their mother most of the time, or all the time. I'm so happy about that. That's great. That's the best thing for me,
Because I often heard that, guys, in
And
my
we
country,
have,
kind of counting.
we are not rich. We are not rich people, but we have enough money, to live a good life, and we can pay for all kind of things. But I think our kids should grow up with the parents instead of a nanny or something else,
It's just so hard for me to accept, this kind of situations, because I grew up being so independent, and I don't rely things from others. And now that I needed to stay at home, because after everything, all the hard work that I had before, that was over, and I needed to be responsible right now in my family. At the same time, also, it's not that easy also to find a job here in the community where I'm in, because I already mentioned that in the other vlogs of mine, and it's so difficult for me to accept it, because as I said, I was the breadwinner in my family. In my first marriage, I was the breadwinner, and it's so hard for me to accept the reality that this time I needed to ask money, and it's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing because I don't want to do it. It seems like it's, oh my god, I could cry. It crushes me so hard because I don't want to rely myself to other people, and it's hard for me to believe that he's my husband, and I needed to trust him, and I needed to believe in him, and I always have in my mind, oh, you're only saying that because things are okay right now. What if in the future something happens and you change? Because it happens. I know having negative thoughts in your head is not good, but I'm learning to let them go. Especially now that we have this baby, I need to be responsible of taking care of her because I don't trust anybody to look after her. It happened before. I asked someone to look after Sheena and it was disaster, and right now I don't want to let other people take care of our baby. Okay,
So we have our jobs. You take care of our kids, you know. It's a hard job, right? So I don't. Yeah, but however, and she knows if she finds a job, we'll solve that too. I will never say don't take the job. We will solve that too. It's not like I say she can't work.
right now this
Never.
vlogging thing is my outlet, actually. My outlet, because it makes me feel like I'm doing something. Alright, yeah, that I'm not just, although Thomas is not asking me, no, he's not. I have all the free time. If I wanted to, I can do whatever I want, but I just want to do something because I don't want to just sit down. I'm not sitting down. I have a lot of responsibilities, but I just want to do something. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If I really want you to leave some comments down below. I don't know if what I'm saying
The Tampo thing.
is for everybody, is for all the Filipino, but if it's not, then you can write down your comments down below about it. And for those other foreigners there who married Filipino women, if you have some some sentiments about it and you wanna also share your opinion about it, you can do it and let's discuss things out. Thank you for watching. I think this is it. It's time for us to say goodbye. Till next time. Thank you. Paalam po.
Spread love, sis.
Please subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. Maayong gahapon, maayong gabi. Daghang salamat. Maraming salamat po. Paalam. Bye-bye.